Is India in great danger? China's giant Brahmaputra Dam sparks water warfares. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. What if I told you that China is actually building a mega dam so powerful it could generate massive power and even light up multiple cities? Or even flood them out of existence? Yes, you heard that right. China has officially started building a massive $167 billion mega dam on the Brahmaputra River in Tibet. And this isn't just any regular dam, it's being called a potential water bomb for India. But what's the truth behind this story? Is it really a hydroelectric power dam or a geopolitical weapon being used by China? Can this dam really threaten India's northeast region? And what is India going to do to protect itself? So friends, don't skip this video. Stay with me till the end. It's going to be a very interesting video and you'll see how this story is not just about water. Yes, water is definitely crucial for our survival, but it's not just about water. This story is about power, politics, international relations, and also survival of people. So let's dive straight into the topic. So let's first discuss the project overview. So the construction officially began on 19 July 2025 in Nyangchi city, Tibet. So China has now officially started working on what it's calling one of the most ambitious hydropower projects in the world, right on the banks of Yarlung Tsangpo River, which becomes the Brahmaputra River when it enters India. So the location of this dam is Nyangchi, which is a Tibetan city, very close to Arunachal Pradesh. And the date they have started is yesterday, that is 19 July. Marked with national headlines and military attention. Why? Because this isn't just about electricity. It's about control over one of Asia's very, very important rivers. So the cost is estimated at around $167 billion. That's more than the GDP of some small countries. So this is not a small hydroelectric power project to power a few villages. This is actually China asserting dominance over the entire river system of the northeast. Now to compare and give you a perspective, the iconic Three Gorges Dam in China costed around $25 billion. This is almost 7 times of that. Now clearly this isn't just about energy. This is about control, influence, and a message to the world that look, we are here. We can build bigger than the rest of the world. So it encompasses 5 cascade hydroelectric power plants aimed at surpassing the Three Gorges Dam. So China plans to stack 5 massive hydro plants in cascade, that is one after the other. And once these are fully operational, these will generate more power than the Three Gorges ever could. Now, if this is completed, then this dam could generate nearly twice the electricity India's total hydropower sector does today. Yes, let that sink in. India's twice hydropower electricity that we generate today. Now, coming to the technical dimensions. So the combined capacity is planned at approximately 60 gigawatts. Now to put this in perspective, India's largest hydroelectric power project, which is Koyana in Maharashtra, it generates about 2000 megawatt of electricity. So this Chinese dam will generate 30 times of that, enough to power nearly 20 crore homes. Now this is a mind-blowing scale of engineering. But with that much capacity also comes the question, what happens if it's turned off or opened all at once? So the expected annual energy output is about 300 billion kilowatt hours. Now that amount of electricity is equivalent to Germany's total annual electricity consumption. This makes it one of the most productive hydropower facilities in human history if it is completed as per the plan. Now the location is seismically sensitive Tibetan plateau, raising engineering and safety challenges. Now here's the scary part. This dam is being built in a highly earthquake-prone zone. One big tremor and the structural integrity of this mega dam could actually collapse. That would lead to floods rushing into India's northeast region within hours, wiping out villages and farmland. So this is why many experts are calling this as a ticking time bomb, and it's very scary if you think about the consequences if God forbids that it collapses. Now coming to the downstream concerns. So India-Bangladesh fear impact on river flow, ecological balance and agriculture. So the Brahmaputra isn't just a river, it's a lifeline for millions of people living in Assam, Arunachal Pradesh and also Bangladesh. So any tampering upstream could actually disrupt farming, drinking water, flood patterns and fisheries on the downstream. And the big worry? If China withholds water during the dry months or releases excess water during monsoon, then the downstream regions could face extreme droughts or flash floods. So India's MFA in January urged China to ensure downstream states are not harmed. Now India raised diplomatic concerns when the project was announced. Our Ministry of External Affairs politely reminded China to ensure the interests of the downstream states that they are not harmed. But let's be honest, polite diplomacy rarely has any impact, and we have seen China doesn't listen to any of the polite requests. So environmentalists are warning of the altered flow regimes similar to Mekong River issues. So China has built multiple dams on the Mekong River too. And Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos all complained that a lot of fishes had died, farms had dried up, and people had migrated in large numbers. So could this become Brahmaputra's future too? Well, who knows, but that's the risk, which must be mitigated, or at least there should be an action or a contingency plan to mitigate this risk. So coming to the water bomb risk. Now Arunachal Pradesh CM Pema Khandu described the dam as a ticking water bomb. So that phrase ticking water bomb is not fear mongering, like we have discussed. The chief minister, who also comes from Arunachal Pradesh, which is a state directly in the dam's path, has publicly warned that the lives of entire tribes and the valleys could be wiped out if this dam bursts. And given that this region has often seen a lot of landslides, earthquakes, and glacial melts, this fear is very, very real. Now, there are concerns that China could withhold or release water strategically. Now, this is where geopolitics kicks in. Imagine a scenario. India and China have tensions at the border. Now, what if China decides to use water as a weapon? They don't need bombs. They can just hold back water in winter and drown us in the summer. Now, that's even lethal than any other bomb. Also, we must understand that China is not a party to any of the international water sharing treaties. So, unlike rivers like the Nile or Danube, there is no binding agreement between China and its downstream neighbors like India or Bangladesh. That means that China can do whatever it wants, and that too legally, and the rest of us can only watch and react. Yes, that's the unfortunate part. So coming to India's strategic response. So Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma says that 65 to 75% of Brahmaputra's water flow actually originates within India. So here's some hope. Assam CM Himanta Biswa Sarma has pointed out that the majority of Brahmaputra's water actually comes from the Indian monsoon-fed tributaries like Subansiri, Lohit and Dibang. That means even if China blocks some flow, the river won't dry up entirely in Assam or Bengal. So India has accelerated its own Upper Siang multipurpose hydroelectric power project. So to counter this move, India is now speeding up its own mega dam project on the Upper Siang, which could generate about 10,000 megawatt of power and also act as a power buffer. So it also sends a clear message that look, we are not sitting idle, we are working to ensure power autonomy in case there's any conflict with China. So Assam asserts Brahmaputra in a rain-fed river system. Now, unlike rivers that are fully glacier-fed, Brahmaputra's strength lies in the Indian monsoon. This gives India a strategic edge and also some control in ensuring the river never actually dries out entirely. Now let's discuss environmental and geopolitical context. So the dam lies within an ecologically fragile zone. So the eastern Himalayas are one of the world's most sensitive ecological zones. With rich biodiversity, rare plants and also tribal cultures, this region is already vulnerable to climate change. So a mega dam here means lot of deforestation, forced displacement of people and risk of natural disasters. Now, the local Tibetan communities and rights groups have protested the displacement. So even within China, there have been a lot of protests. Tibetan activists say their ancient lands are being swallowed up in the name of development and their voices are also being silenced. But most international media are too afraid to report it openly. That's why you don't see this news making a lot of headlines in the international press. So this is part of China's broader hydro diplomacy agenda. Now China isn't building this dam just for power. It's building it for control. The Great Bend of the Brahmaputra, as you can see over here, and also on the map, it's a sharp U-shaped turn which the river takes in the eastern Himalayas. So this Great Bend is one of the last remaining untapped mega hydroelectric zones in the entire world. And by controlling the water over here, China plans to gain bargaining and controlling power in the entire South Asia, especially with India and Bangladesh. So now here's a question for you, and let's see how many of you can get this right. So the question is, which river does the Brahmaputra originate from before entering India? Is it A. Mekong, B. Indus, C. Yarlung Tsangpo, or is it D. Irrawaddy? So I'll wait for 5 seconds, or you can just pause the video and write your answer in the comment section below. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the correct answer is Yarlung Tsangpo. Yes, that's the original Tibetan name for Brahmaputra. The river flows east across Tibet before making a sharp U-turn, as we have seen, called the Great Bend, and it enters Arunachal Pradesh in India as being called the Brahmaputra River. So I'd love to know your thoughts on this. What do you think? Is this dam being built as a source of hydroelectric power or a geopolitical threat to India? As we have seen, this is not just about one river. It's about how water is becoming the new oil in the entire global politics. So India definitely needs to be cautious, proactive, and also act strategically. Because when you live downstream of a dragon, you need more than just an umbrella to save yourselves. So if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. Also comment down your views and subscribe to the channel for more such deep dives into global geopolitics.